Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. I hope everybody's having a good start to their day so far. So I thought we'd start with being memorable equals getting picked. Very, very true. In sales, voicemails are extremely powerful and extremely important, and a lot of salespeople overlook them. When I'm sitting there with a new agent, getting them up and running, one of the first things I want to talk about is voicemails, because it's how to be memorable. If people are sitting there and you're working with leads that maybe are getting called by 10 different agents, how do you stand out? How do they want to listen to the phone and say, you know what, I actually want to call this person back? So today I thought we'd do a little talk about leaving voicemails. We're going to go through just some quick tips. The first sales technique for voicemails is be brief. The philosophy of be brief, be bright, and be gone. Okay, so the point with that is you need to have 30 seconds or less. Most people, when they're sitting there holding their phone, they're only going to listen to your voicemail for the first 7 seconds before they determine if they're going to delete you or not. I will get voicemails where I swear the people are telling me the Iliad and the Odyssey on my voicemail. I don't care. I want you to give me 30 seconds of what the heck should I actually care about. You need to do that back, especially with first contact. Why? Because you sit there, you leave a voicemail, you can be like, I should listen to it. Most people actually do. Listening to voicemails is common. But with listening to voicemails, it's going to be, you know what? Is this actually going to be worth my time? So with that, the total message from start to finish is 30 seconds or less. The most important part is going to be the first 7 seconds. So with that being said as well, we need to be unique. It's kind of an odd one. Some hints that I've heard out there in the field is people go, you know, I actually don't like to start with my first and last name. You're not starting your voicemail with your first and last name. They're like, nope. You know, I'd like to make people laugh. I like screwing up a voicemail. That was actually one of the agents is like, you know, I like to kind of stutter or screw up a voicemail because that's going to make people stop. Instead of listening to the same smooth sales voicemail over and over, it's going to make the person be like, whoa, this is a little different. This is going to stick out in my mind. And being positive. So one of the things is, you know, don't start with the first and last name. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. Like, are you looking for health insurance? The person's going to be like, what the heck? People don't start with questions. They don't. They usually end with them. Salespeople will end with a question. They say, that's my hook. Why don't you lead with your hook? Why don't you make them pay attention? Why don't you make them care? One of those things to keep in mind. So don't start with the first and last name and leave something to the imagination. So one of the things that people say with the voicemail is give them everything that you do. No, don't give them everything that you do. Give them a concept of what you can do and leave them with mystery. If you give them everything, what's the reason to call them back? Kind of the whole concept with sales. So be unique. Don't start with your first and last name. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. Stay positive. Maybe reference some research that you've done on their business that prompted the call, but leave something to the imagination. As well with voicemails, here's another thing too that is going to be a really quick hint that will increase it if you do just this one part, okay? Do not tell them what to do ever in a voicemail. Do not ever, and I mean ever tell them what to do. Especially in sales. If you want to decrease your closing ratio, tell them what to do. If you want to make sure someone's not going to call you back, tell them what to do. Adults hate being told what to do. We do. It's just the nature of it. We've played that game. We went through high school. You know, we've had people tell us what to do our whole lives. We don't care. Don't ever tell someone what to do. Don't tell them what to think. Don't tell them anything. So one of the things that is kind of a slight one that I hear a lot is give me a call back. No, you're telling me what to do. I don't want to do what you're going to tell me what to do. I can be reached. That's how you change it. I can be reached. Not saying, hey, you need to call me. Hey, you know what? I can be reached back at. Add just that in the end of your voicemail. Please do just that one. If you take nothing else away from this training, I can be reached will increase the number of people calling you back. Don't ever sell as well. Keep in mind the voicemail, the whole point is to get the contact to call you. Don't ever sell them. Or reference failed attempts. These are things to not do to adults right away. So one of the things about it, I have gotten people for voicemails, different lead vendors I've worked with saying, hey, you know what, Dan, I've called you 3 times now. Okay, so now I feel bad. Why would I want to talk to you? Do I want to walk into a situation where I'm going to get yelled at, where I'm going to be scolded and feel negative? Don't. I've been to voicemail trainings where they say, you know, tell the person how many times you've tried to reach them. Yes, starting off with negativity is really going to make somebody want to work with you. Keep in mind, people want their friends and family to work with somebody who's positive, someone who's fun, and someone who's relatable. They don't want to work with somebody who's going to scold them. We avoid being scolded. That's why scolding is a negative word. Don't ever reference failed attempts. If that is something you're doing now, omit that. Don't tell them what to do, so I can be reached instead of give me a call back. That's going to just decrease it right away. Another thing too that people don't think a ton about with voicemails, and we'll go through kind of an example voicemail here in a few seconds. With voicemails is as well as timing. When do you actually leave a voicemail? Always leave a voicemail on the first call. Why? Because you know what's going to happen? They don't have your number. They don't know who you are. They have no idea what's going on. Leave a voicemail on the first call because then they're actually going to be able to do it. Also on off-peak hours. So first call you do it. If you're going to call them again during a lunch hour, that's an off-peak hour. Leave a voicemail. If you're calling them later in the day, leave a voicemail. Why? Because they're going to see a voicemail and they'll actually have time right at that moment to listen to it. And it's going to increase the times that they're going to call you back. Some people say, I leave voicemails on every call I ever do. Sure, that's going to be an extra 30 seconds on every call that you do. If you take a look throughout the day, you could probably make 40 extra calls instead of trying to do just leave voicemails on everything. If you leave it on the first call, so make a call, leave a voicemail. If you call them back a half hour later, they actually are going to think it's something super important. They will pick up their phone. But leave it on the first call, do it during off-peak hours, and then stagger what time you leave them. If you've been leaving voicemails for your clients always between the 10 o'clock hour and you're not getting people to call you back, maybe they're not listening to them at the 10 o'clock hour. Stagger what time you leave your voicemails. Try to not keep consistency, because if you keep too much consistency with your voicemails with customers, they're going to be able to predict you, and then they're going to know how to avoid you. Do it always during the very first call. Do it during off-peak hours, and then stagger what time that you leave them. So to take a look at a voicemail script, this is from an agent. So, hi John, you inquired about affordable health insurance coverage. Looking at the rates, and I know they seem high. My name is, first and last name, with company name. What I do is I work with dozens of different companies and find my customers the most thorough and affordable health and dental insurance possible. My services are free and I can be reached at. Quick, to the point, didn't start with his first and last name, right? Bam. Pretty easy, quick voicemail. If this is something, hey, take a screenshot right now, use it. This is nice, it's quick, and honestly it takes about 15 seconds to do. One thing during open enrollment that's important is to have scripts made for your voicemails, because that's going to help you become a little more automated and work through things quicker with all the stress going on and you in the back of your mind saying, hey, I have a customer who I have to sell this type of policy to, but I got this new lead I have to work. Script it out, keep it down, make it easy. Start with it being interesting, get into a little bit about what you do. I always tell them, your services are free because they don't cost the client anything, they cost the companies that you're selling money, and then that you can be reached. Note how this person did not say, give me a call back. These are some pretty quick, pretty easy voicemail hints for you. I would take them, I would implement them. So keep it quick, keep it interesting, keep it positive, avoid telling people what to do, avoid selling too hard, and make sure when you're doing them that you do them on your first call and that you stagger the times. So let's make some great sales today. Change that mindset from, hey, I'm just selling you just one insurance plan to, I'm going to sell you an insurance package of all these different things like you had at work before you lost it. Let's change our voicemails and try to make those more effective. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me at any questions. So I just want to thank you guys for your time today. But I really would like to end with a great Babe Ruth quote, a huge Babe Ruth fan there. And his is, you just can't beat the person who never gives up. And have a great Monday, y'all.